Good morning, Chester. This is Billy Rose with Billy Rose WX Weather, and this is your weather for Randolph County and Chester. And we'll get with today's temps, tomorrow's temps, and we will get to the SPC outlook and take a look at when these storms are going to come through as far as today. For today, we're looking at highs around 89 in St. Genevieve, Chester 87. Pretty much the mid to upper 80s around Randolph County. We get to our real field temperatures, Chester 93, St. Genevieve 96, Prairie Rocher 93, Evansville 94, and it looks like 92 from Redbud, Baldwin, and Sparta and Coulterville. As far as your highs tomorrow, we're looking at 85 in Chester, 86 in St. Genevieve, 86 in Prairie Rocher, and it looks like the rest of the upper part of Randolph County, 85. As far as your real feels, Chester, it's going to feel like 93 tomorrow, 95 in St. Genevieve, and the rest of Randolph County around 93 and 94, Sparta 92. And your lows for tomorrow, Chester 71, 71 in St. Genevieve, and it looks like most of Randolph County will be around 72 as far as your lows. For today, we got the general thunder from Seattle all the way down to Miami, and pretty much up the East Coast, anything in that light green area. The darker green area from Montana down to the Panhandle of Texas, going all the way up to the Virginias. Anything in this dark green area, and to include the Northeast up here, you guys being a 1 out of 5. Montana going to South Dakota, this yellow, you'll be at a 2 out of 5. Southern Missouri, Southern Illinois, Indiana, and Kentucky right here in this yellow, you guys will be a 2 out of 5. As far as your severe weather, we've got a 2% tornado risk in Montana from Jordan, Roundup, and Lewistown. And then, of course, right here through Southern Illinois, and this is what we will take a look at, because all the models are showing something a little bit different, and we will compare 3 different models after we get done with this SPC outlook. But we got a 2% from Springfield all the way to Lexington, Kentucky. That'd be Springfield, Missouri. To include Rolla, Lebanon, Farmington, Poplar Bluff, Chester. We're in a 2% from Cape Girardeau to Louisville, Kentucky, to include Evansville, Mount Vernon. You guys will be in that 5% tornado risk. As far as your wind risk, right there in Montana to South Dakota, anything in this yellow, you're in that 15% wind risk. And then anything and this yellow from Southern Missouri to Southern Illinois, you guys will be in that 15%, I believe. Let me get a look at it real quick. Yes, that'd be at the 15% as far as your wind risk right there. And then we are going to take a look at your hail. Montana and to Dakota, South Dakota, right there in that yellow, you're at a 15%, of course 5% anywhere from Montana to the Panhandle of Texas, and up here in the Northeast, you guys will be in that 5% as far as your hail. Okay, tomorrow, anything in this green from Idaho and going through here, the Panhandle of Texas, and it looks like pretty much the East Coast and up and around Chicago and Minneapolis, you guys will have general thunder. You got a 1 out of 5 from Montana, Dakotas, going through southern Illinois, central Illinois, all the way to north South Dakota. I meant North and South Carolina and Virginia. You guys will be in that 1 out of 5. And of course, we got that 2 out of 5 right over here as far as North Carolina and Virginia. Your tornado risk will to include the Dakotas and Nebraska, and right here in southern Missouri. Your wind risk, you got a SIG 1 in North Dakota and going into Montana. So you can expect wind anywhere up to 74 plus miles an hour. But you get the 5% wind risk in this brown area to include the Dakotas, Nebraska, Montana, going through Illinois into Virginia and North and South Carolina. and your hail risk. Hail risk going through anything in this hash mark area, you guys will be in that SIG 1, which you can have up to 2-inch hail, but a 5% wind risk, hail risk, going through Tennessee, Kentucky, to going through Illinois, Missouri, all the way up there into the Nebraska and Dakotas, and then to Montana. Anything in that brown, you're 5%. The yellow, you'll be in that 15% hail risk. As far as that, guys, we are going to take a look, and I'm going to get the screen up here really quick and get the timing of the storms for today. And I'm going to run this up to about 8 o'clock, and I'm going to go ahead and switch screens real quick. So we are going to look at different models, and this is that's 1 a.m. So we're going to get to around 6 p.m. So if we're taking a look at this, Mount Vernon looks like a hot spot as far as severe weather, and going into here to Evansville, Indiana. But anywhere from Joplin, and it looks like they got some updraft helicity up here. But this is the HRRR, and this is about 6 p.m. And the HRRR doesn't have anything really getting to us. We'll have sporadic showers throughout the day. Of course, we got this batch that just passed us, but you can see throughout the day, it looks like around 4 p.m. we might have a spotty shower, and then we get to 6 p.m. and then going on to about, looks like 1 a.m. we might have a little line come through. But this is the HRRR. The Rufus model has a little bit more, guys. It looks like it's hitting us around 7 p.m. and we do have some updraft helicity in the area, but going from Tulsa, Oklahoma, all the way through looks like Evansville, Indiana, but you can see this line coming through, but it looks like we have a batch around 8 p.m. right around Chester, and you can see the difference in the different models. So we go to the NAM Nest, it's showing around not a whole lot of anything, and of course HRRR showing around 9 p.m. Some showers coming through, but that'd be that line going from Tulsa all the way up into Indiana. So the MCV, the mesoscale convective vortex, with a lot of spinning in the air, that is why we are probably in the tornado risk area. And we'll take a look at that real quick. But as you can see, all this dark area, that's the vorticity that we have. And we get to the Rufus model, you can see this big batch of black. And then of course, if we get to the NAM Nest, again, as we move this through, you can see when this line comes through right here. That's your vorticity. As far as severe weather, and we'll take a look at tornado parameters. We'll start with the HRRR, and we'll zoom down here in Chester, and as Indiana and southern Missouri, we're not seeing a whole bunch. We have a little bit in the northern part. Tornado parameter, I believe, is what we got going on. At 2.4 up and around the St. Louis area, and that's at 5 p.m. guys. In Mount Vernon area, and that's where we see one of the big storms that's coming through. Now, if we go to the Rufus model, and we move this around a little bit, it shows northern Randolph County. Looks like we got a 1.6, 1.7 as far as your tornado parameter. We get to the NAM Nest, that's looking like around Mount Vernon, 2.1, 2.4, 2.7 in that area. So needless to say, we'll have some storms in the area when they come and where they're going to be at. Just be prepared, because every model is just something a little bit different, but they're all showing vorticity anywhere from southern Missouri to Louisville, Kentucky. Just be prepared for any spin-up tornadoes in the area. As far as your updraft helicity, guys, and we'll take off the reflectivity part, and we'll start with the NAM nest. But you can see around the Mount Vernon area, you got that updraft in the area, and that's about 8 p.m. around the Mount Vernon area. And if we get to the Rufus model, it shows us around basically between Ellis Grove and Chester. It shows and right around Chester, it looks like, and this is 9 p.m., and that looks like some pretty heavy helicity updraft in the area, and that's the Rufus model. Now we get to the HRRR, and I'm not showing anything, so, and I'll pan it out real quick. It's looking like in Salem, Missouri, right here, we've got some updraft helicity. But there will be a lot of spin in the winds in the air, a lot of vorticity and updraft helicity in different models. So just be prepared for anything that's going to be happening. If look like it's getting pretty bad, I'll go live. But other than that, you guys have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow.